overall fund composition of Aditya Birla Sun Life Multi-Asset Allocation Fund. As explained, we were earlier looking at an overall asset allocation of 65% equity, 20% fixed income and 15% gold or silver. Now let's look at what is within that attracts our attention. So first, when we look at the overall equity allocation of 65% kind of a number, we have clearly articulated that there are 4 large themes where we think that, on an overall basis, looks fairly attractive from a 3 to 5 year perspective for equity investments. The first one is about manufacturing in India, and which is where there is a big benefit which is happening across 14 plus sectors because of PLI plans. This plan has rolled out over a period of time, right from mobile phones to textile companies to AC manufacturing to automobiles and auto components, and is picking up pace in each and every sector that has actually got rolled out. And we find that there are a lot of exciting opportunities for these sectors, as well as capital goods as the sectors which supply equipment to various companies which are benefiting from the PLI plans. The second big investment hypothesis is about banks, and within that it is private banks and NBFCs that we are very excited about. Today we find that when we look at the overall pie chart, around 65% of the banking pie chart is with PSUs and 35% is with private banks. But we find private banks will continue to grow at a much faster pace than PSU banks in terms of the overall growth rates, and chip away market share year after year from PSU banks, and that is where we find that that's a far more attractive hypothesis to invest from a next 5+ years perspective, where private banks and select NBFCs, which have a very distinct model of conducting business where banking as a channel is not able to access such customers, is again an attractive industry that we should be looking forward to in investments. The third big hypothesis or the theme where we are fairly excited about is about consumption, and which is where we find that there are a lot of consumer discretionary companies which get invariably benefited as the overall per capita income improves for the country, and it is across various sub-segments like retail, clothing, ACs, various consumer durable items, electrical items, and there are various companies within these sub-segments where we find there is a long runway for growth, sheerly because of the fact that a large unorganized market is getting converted into an organized form that we're trying to assess. And last important theme is about digital, where we find that today a lot of people are overtly concerned in terms of whether there will be discretionary spend coming back in terms of the IT companies, and we find that incrementally there is a positive commentary which is coming out, and the digital companies which are catering to overall global IT spend are very attractively praised in that overall context. So these are the 4 large themes on the equity side which attract our attention. Coming to fixed income portion for the overall portfolio, we are running an accrual strategy here with a modified duration between 1 to 3 years, and we believe that that is the best strategy basis where the overall interest rate environment is, and given that rate cuts is still a few quarters away. Coming to gold as well as silver allocation, we are running 10% gold in the overall portfolio and around 4% silver proportion in the overall portfolio. We find that over the next 2 to 3 years, silver is very well placed because of the structural deficit that is there in silver, as well as robust demand coming up from various sectors like renewables as well as EVs, which is leading to a higher demand for silver on an overall basis. On an overall portfolio basis, the gold and silver allocation at 15% is fairly optimized, because it helps you to protect in an environment where, if at all there is a correction for the broader market, then this is a perfect hedge to the portfolio that we're trying to look at, apart from fixed income, which will give you a good accrual on the overall portfolio basis.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.